welcome to the D6 Fix. I'm Dion.
I'm Bill.
And today we are opening all of our Dol Guldur goodies. We've had to wait for them to be released. Today's the release day, so we're giving them a crack. We've got our Fall of the Necromancer books.
He already cheated me. He already took my plastic off mine, read it, and then kept the good one.
So. The reason I get to
he gets
do
to
this. That good stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of videos out there already with people talking about all this stuff, and there's a lot of videos of people talking about other people talking about the stuff. But
yeah, like some people didn't have the book, but now we've actually got the book.
We've got our books in front of us.
We didn't get it early, we had to wait. We got gypped.
Yes, we did.
Whatever it is.
And we've got a heap of Ruins of Dol Guldur, which you'll see coming later.
Alright, let's just get into it, I guess.
Alright.
So you start, because this is your little...
my favourite
part.
thing they've included in the Fall of the Necromancer book is the history of the Necromancer. So essentially...
It's a dummy's guide for what the Necromancer did.
It's a really cool thing. I think Sauron / the Necromancer is an important character.
He's the coolest dude in Middle-earth.
Definitely.
I think, yeah, anyway.
Definitely. And giving him a bit of a history and stuff. I haven't really read it because I've only just opened my book, but I did see there's, bits about where Azog fits into the story and Gandalf and stuff, because a lot of people don't realise this. The Necromancer stuff, the Fall of the Necromancer stuff, isn't actually in the Hobbit book or the Lord of the Rings book. It's actually in the appendixes. So they went to the back of the book and created a couple of from a couple of paragraphs. They created some really cool stuff for the Hobbit movies. Next up,
Scenarios.
we have the scenarios.
Which starts right at the start, really.
It does.
Because it makes you use Rohan dudes that I want. I go to the scenarios and look at the little photos.
Yep.
So I noticed with the scenarios, they only use normal orc. And I was like, coming to dinner, I was like, why do they use normal orc? It's like Angmar orcs at the start.
Yeah.
And then the woodland dudes are like Rohan warriors, because you'd have to take... a woodsman chieftain. So
Yep.
I'm just going to take Rohan like Games Workshop did. Cool.
When we played the scenarios, we haven't actually talked about this. Who's playing good guys, who's playing bad guys?
I think I'm always the bad guy, but looking at the scenarios, I think the good
You
guy...
want to play the good guys?
I think the good guys can win every game.
Well, I think it'll be interesting.
My way in.
So yeah, there's kind of like essentially the scenarios are the Necromancer building up his power, the gathering evil, which is really, really cool.
Should we make it interesting? So, because everything has a legendary legion, right?
Yep.
Should you let the army that you use the legendary legion because you're playing each other?
No, because everything has a special rule, which is kind of like that anyway. So they've already accounted for that.
So what is it? Gets into it. Then it goes when they go into Mirkwood.
Yeah.
Or when, Mirk would have to defend for themselves.
Yeah.
And then go and hide in a little
I was
hill.
thinking, you were saying you've only got one Mirkwood Ranger captain.
Yep.
We could use Toriel, like just the model.
Oh yeah.
Because that'd be cool, because that kind of looks like Toriel anyway.
Just paint a hair orange. What easy to look for.
So there's the spiders being corrupted. You get to see a little bit of that in the Hobbit movies when Radagast discovers that the spiders are there.
Yep.
And then
Bilbo sees all the spiders coming and they all get snapped up, really.
Exactly. And then heading into Dol Guldur, there's a lot more elf action actually than I kind of anticipated, which is kind of cool. And then there's a lot of like really, really small scenarios, which will be really easy to knock out.
Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 that are like...
This
each
one
side
is
has 4 models or less.
Radagast versus 4 Mirkwood spiders. Really cool. That's the Attack on Raskabel. That's the bit from the movie. Really, really cool. Lots of scenarios.
Yeah. When Gandalf finds Thrain.
I finally get a chance to buy the only Hobbit model I don't own. I don't know if you can see it. It's the Thrain the Broken model. Like an idiot, I never bought it, and then they stopped selling it, and it's back. Very exciting.
It's been a good, 5 or 6 years.
Oh man, maybe even longer. But
then the bit on the bridge where he tries to bail, and the Necromancer stops Gandalf at the end. He does the old big bubble, but it can't.
Yeah. I watched that like 5 times this morning on YouTube.
He can't hold too long, and then Thrain's like, "Nah, I'm out of here, bro." See ya.
Really cool.
And then this is Radagast coming to get to Dol Guldur to pick up Gandalf. So he has to try and beat the spiders to pick up Gandalf.
Yes, yeah.
Do a few drifties, run over a few spiders off the table, I'm guessing.
Escape some spider nests. We might make some little nests. That's a cool little terrain.
I'll just go through the middle so I don't get caught.
That's where the spiders will sit.
And then obviously
I'm the bad guys.
The final bit, the old what is it? Was it Saruman? You need some assistance, my lady. And then Elrond comes in.
My lady. Yeah. He just tips his fedora.
Yeah. And then Gandalf that's it.
Yeah.
Has too many shandies in Dol Guldur. Radagast had to pick him up.
Taxi. Got the bus home.
So this one's good because I think this one actually hasn't got the Necromancers, so it's fair. So it's just the 9 versus...
Sorry.
It does.
Necromancer, 9 Nazgul, and the Keeper of the Dungeons. But...
I'll read that after and see how many points it is, and we might have something after.
Yeah, it's... Like, this is going to be a tough one, because Gandalf starts with no might, will, no staff, and he's paralysed. Like, that's going to be a real tough one. So are you in need of assistance? There you go. I love that the special rules are like quotes from the movies. Super, super cool. And then my favourite thing, and they've been doing it since the Hobbit books, if in scenario 1, good win, there's a bonus. If evil win, there's a bonus for them. So
if we would do scenarios, that's definitely the way we're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really, really cool. It makes each game kind of like matter. And then there is, I did read here while you're looking, there's a designer's note in the capture of the Grey Wizard scenario. Winning this scenario is very hard for the good side, but not impossible. Gandalf can likely escape if he forsakes Thrain, just like pushes him in front of the Necromancer. But that would be quite uncharacteristic. So obviously in this, Gandalf gets captured.
Yeah.
So good is meant to lose that, so it's a tough scenario, but it's possible for him to actually win. But yeah, there'll definitely be some challenging scenarios. Lucky we've got all this cool terrain that we're going to be building up. But yeah, I love the campaign structure, but this is probably the bit that it's the whole reason why you buy the book, isn't it?
Pretty much.
The Legendary Legions.
No, this isn't. So this is just the armies.
Yeah.
So these are like the armies that would be used whilst in that era of the Necromancer.
And they've done this in all the other campaign source books, where you've got this is your regular army book from the armies of Lord of the Rings. Where is it? Armies of the Hobbit. It's the same kind of like rules and summary from there. In some of the books, they actually give you new characters and they add it into there. But essentially, the second page, this is the bit that's cool because it tells you the strengths and weaknesses of the army and like what the characters are good at. So
making good for dummies.
Yeah, like absolutely.
So I don't have to actually read my rules. It just tells you like, hey, you should be taking one of these 4 out of any of them.
Great Eagles are really good because they're strength 7 on the charge.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great little thing.
Yeah. So they're not going to get +1.
Especially because of the Legendary Legions, chances are you either already have or you're going to want to have some of these armies. So yeah, it's really little cool thing that tells you how to play. Dark Powers of Dol Guldur. I did notice in all their artworks, they've actually photoshopped, like...
Did they?
Yeah, because in this one it was like green.
Oh, yeah.
And they've like CGI'd over the yellowy...
Classic.
Maybe. Oh, maybe not actually. Whatever.
Hold them to it. The best part of the book, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Besides the front little page.
So, I have a surprise.
Cool. I have a surprise too. No.
Only once ever on the entire D6 Fix channel has this ever happened. And because I thought we'd be talking about the Legendary Legions... No, even more important. Are you ready?
The expert at everything. Here we go, he's got a hat.
Oh, it's too small for my giant head. Got to put it on the last 2. Alright, so I was at the servo on the way home, filling up petrol, and I walked past this and I was like, that's perfect for tonight. So, Legendary Legions. If you don't know about Legendary Legions, what are they, Bill?
So it's like a special army designed around like a thematic list, so something like that, and then they designed an army over it. For some people might coach, the Blackgate Open, I used to play that before, it's cool. Yep. They play a good army and then they'll give you a few special rules, but...
Also you get restrictions, so like...
certain heroes have to be the leader.
Yeah. You also can't have allies, so you have to run, if you're running a Legendary Legion, bam. What was the one from the Breaking of the Fellowship? There's like, because that's an army list that's only heroes. so you can't go over a certain points value.
Yeah.
It's like maximum
900
like
points or 950, wasn't it?
yeah, something like that.
Most of the most heroes are about 1,000 by the time you put them all in.
But that one doesn't have Gandalf.
Yep.
So yeah, they don't have an army bonus in the Legendary Legion because the Legendary Legion is the army bonus.
Good way to put it.
So,
First one,
Rangers of Mirkwood.
I liked it, but
so we're not going to go through word for word, but we're just going to kind of summarise and give our opinions.
So like the new thing they can get is so they can now shield in the combat, but they can't use their knife fighter rule, which is sort of cool. And then it's rerolled 1s to wound, only in the fight phase, not for shooting. I'd rather it for shooting, but then make them OP. So that's why they probably did it that way. Legolas gets knife fighter, which is cool because his dad gets it. So why doesn't he get it?
Yeah.
And then they just get gain hatred spider.
Yeah.
And then what's the other stuff?
They get +1 dice in +1 to the dice roll in scenarios that use reinforcements,
which
and
is
then
good.
You can plus or minus the dice to see which board edge you come on.
So if you rolled a 2, you can just be like, alright, cool, I'm rolling a 1.
Really, really cool.
I'll reroll tomorrow.
My favourite thing about this is it's already an army you can run, but it's just a
makes Legolas a little bit better in combat.
Absolutely.
Because he's always like the weakest link. You always have more fun with Toriel playing a Mirkwood Ranger list with Thranduil or with not him at all. Legolas is always just a liability.
Yeah. Legolas has 2 attacks.
You can't let him die, and then you try and run him into kill anything, and then he just rolls in with a pool noodle and does nothing.
So if you charge him into 2 models, he's going to get an extra attack. If you charge him into 3 models, he's going to get 4 attacks and stuff like that.
Hasn't he got 3 already?
No.
I think he got 2.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to take him on horse, that's why.
He's
you only take him on horse,
poop.
which you can't do in this one.
No.
So it's an all on foot.
All Rangers and Sentinels. Yeah, it's a cool...
And you get a 6-up death save if you're within 1 inch of...
a tree.
Yeah.
And that's shooting and close combat.
Yeah, which is good.
Really cool. Because you've got your Elven Cloaks, you're probably going to be obscured anyway. It's a really interesting army that I think a lot of people would or will play.
I think this is probably either like this or the next one is the top 2 out of the Legendary Legion. It's cool, but I'd hate to play a Horde army with it. But
it's very
a really good
challenging.
Thematic like army for Dol Guldur.
So this is essentially the White Council, but it's a movie accurate White Council. So in the Hobbit book, your White Council can have Círdan and Celeborn?
Yep.
And Glorfin? No,
what's his Jesus Christ. We just talked about him the other day. Yeah, Glorfindel, who's the dude that can't get heroically pushed out the way by a troll?
Yeah, Glorfindel.
Him.
Yeah.
That guy.
So it's basically that, except it's movie accurate. So whatever. We found.
So pretty much whoever was in the movie. So Galadriel rolls up, blows up the keeper's keeper of the dungeons, like gets Gandalf out, and then she tries to do a runner with him, and then
Elrond, Saruman,
Radagast is just on his way with the sleigh.
Kick everyone's butts.
Boom.
So they get +1 to resist magic.
All of them get a special rule. All of the 5 of the council get a special rule, which is cool. Some of them are really cool. Some of them you have to sort of work as a team.
The two most important things, you get to cast spells if you're in combat. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
And everyone's attacks is equal to their
So they're all Gulliver that can't fly.
Yes.
Because you get the same attacks as the enemy when you get... And then that's why Radagast comes in handy as
Radagast and Elrond and Saruman only have 1 attack each. Them being 3 attacks. That's ridiculous, dude. Does Gandalf the Grey have Glamdring? Yes, he does.
Yeah, because he kills the Goblin King with it before he turns... No.
That means he's got 3 attacks at strength 5.
That's that sword, isn't it? That's the one he kills the Goblin King with? Yeah. He kills him before he turns into white.
That's ridiculous. And the reason, this is a really good list, Elrond has Renew, so he can heal characters' wounds, and so does Radagast. And the fact that you can cast those while you're
and
in
he still has Nature's Wrath, so when someone comes, you can all hide in a bubble and just be like...
Yeah. Real cool. Amazing.
So, I like this one. So, Saruman's one is you can do 2, and it says you can do 2 on the same target, and it doesn't say anything about not doing the same one.
Cast 2 spells, but may not attempt to cast the same magical power twice.
But you can cast it on the same model.
Yeah. So that will immobilize. Or what? Does he even have...
Set ablaze if you're not transfix, or immobilize. Stay there. If you're not on fire, you can stay there. Yeah. That's cool.
What is Saruman the White? So he's got Aura of Command, Immobilize, Terrifying Aura, Command, and Sorcerer's Blast. He doesn't have...
because
that's
he's not...
his evil version.
Yeah.
So he's really good because he can reroll 1 dice when casting or resisting.
Sorcerer's Blast is being knocked prone as well, so that's handy. So it's like, if not, you just immobilise someone.
And it's a strength 4 hit.
And it's 12 inches. So that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's only a 4 plus.
And you can do it while you're in combat. And it doesn't say anything about having to target the model you're in combat with.
Well, it's friendly models, you can't actually do it on himself. So I was going to say, if you cast the first one, you get to reroll the d6 on your second, but you can't.
Oh, yeah. I know. He can choose to reroll when making casting tests.
Alright, so that makes him OP.
So he just gets 2... Well, this is a bit of a trap, the Wises of the Astari, because you're going to go through your will so damn quick. Because you get a free one every turn. He does have 6.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful you're not just like every turn just like, woohoo! Spending them.
And then Galadriel is probably the second best. So she can... So banishment is usually for spirits. So if you fail it, you just get banished. You just explode like the keeper of the dungeon.
You take a wound.
No, you just die.
If you channel it, you die, yeah.
You sure? I'm pretty sure it's...
Rules manual. Lucky I've got long arms. Yeah, banishment. Spirit models suffer a wound.
Yeah.
In this, she can do it on everyone, right?
She can just do it on anyone, because usually it has to be a spirit model for it to work. So now she can just do it on anyone. So it's just like, Orc Captain that's being annoying and I need to kill you for... What's the one?
Assassinate?
No, the one where you like pick the train piece, the dude to kill and the dude not to
Fog
kill.
of War.
Yeah, that one. So it's like, oh cool, it's like, oh Captain, I can't get over there. It's like, boom, like sucked in, you're dead.
But she's got a really, really cool ability. So if you've seen the movie recently, if you got a good memory, you remember that she like expends all her power and like pops the Necromancer and just like fucking just
banishes
yeets him back to Mordor.
From where you've come.
Yes.
Where you've came.
Go back to the void from whence you've come.
Yeah.
She gets to do, as long as she's got at least 1 will point, she can do a channeled version of banishment that cannot be resisted.
Does she always get a free one?
Yeah, she gets a free point
Cool.
every turn. Yeah, they all do.
Cool.
They all do except Elrond.
Yeah.
It reduces her will points to 0. She goes prone and she loses a lot of special rules, but which cannot be resisted. That's real good. That's real good.
Casting a magical power, so it's anything she wants that's in her spells.
Where? Oh, instead of casting a magical power, she immediately does the channeled version of banishment, which cannot be resisted. That's amazing. That's real good.
Cool, you're
automatically
as long as you
doing
roll a
one.
2, it's dead.
Yeah.
They do get fate, probably.
They do get fate, yeah. But
That's
which one has curse? The Necromancer, which is get rid of a fate point. But yeah, really, really cool. There's lots of other special rules. But essentially, they all deploy as 1 warband. So
you always have to take Saruman and Galadriel. Yeah.
So, where's my little calculator?
And it's always deployed as a single warband.
We play a lot of 650. 170 plus 130 plus...
so it's 800 points to play it all.
Plus Elrond. So, not 1800 points. So in 630, you can play Saruman, Gandalf,
You can't play
Saruman, Galadriel, Radagast, and Elrond. So the only one you don't get is Gandalf. In 650.
So it's like 850 points.
Tough.
Yeah.
And you know the most hilarious thing about that? 2 of your models have Elven Rings of Power, so they get to reroll Fate. Is Galadriel Lady of Light a hero of legend? Nah, never mind. Saruman always has to be a leader.
Yeah, he would be.
Yeah, he is. That's a poo thing because your leader doesn't have a magical ring.
Yeah.
But kind of cool. Going to be a very tricky army to play, but should be super fun.
Funny the campaign not playing like a tournament with 650 with 4 models.
Yeah, not playing against a Goblin Town army.
This one's yours. I'm banned from playing Azog. This one's
of
Dion's.
Dol Guldur. So when I first heard about this, I thought to myself, and I said to Bill, there's no way, this has to be an all-on-foot Azog army.
I thought it was, so I was sneaky, went on YouTube and some dude like leaked one and I was like, yeah, cool. And he didn't say anything about a warg or anything like that. I don't know if he didn't know what was going on, but he's like, didn't say anything about a warg. And I was like, oh, maybe it's just an on-foot one. And I'm like, no, that's kind of boring. I'm like, Azog's still pretty good. He can still
Yeah.
literally kill anything in the game.
Wrong. Azog can take the White Warg. Your Hunter Rock captains can take
This
Wargs.
one, I just think that's stupid. Like, just give him that special rule. Don't give him any of the rest. Just give him a free hero. He just becomes an Aragon Azog.
Azog may declare a heroic combat each turn without spending might. If Azog is on the White Warg, he has 6 points of might.
And if he charges, you're definitely going to heroic combat and just hit something else like a Wrecking Ball.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. In Azog's Legion, he gets Master of Battle, which is really good. If your opponent calls a heroic, you get to do the same one for free if you're within range. But now you're just going to call a heroic combat every turn.
And make them use might because they're going to freak out and then to kill him.
Yep, it's amazing.
Just so you can't take the flail, but he's still good because he's fight 7.
Or heavy armor, which
So
means
he's defense
only
6.
defense 5.
5.
Yeah.
Not too bad if you...
Yeah.
5s maybe. Yeah, but you should just win the fight. You shouldn't lose.
Yeah.
What do you get? 5 attacks, mate? 4.
And everything in the army is resistant to magic.
I think this one
Azog,
is
including
the
the
next
White
best
Warg.
one. Once per game, you can just be like, alright, cool, I need this priority, it's my priority, cool.
And
I win.
your opponent can't call any heroic moves.
Yep.
Did you read that?
Oh, no, I didn't even read that bit.
Additionally, enemy models may not declare heroic moves in the following move phase. So you get priority, full stop. That's dumb.
Run forward,
The
run
turn-
forward,
yeah.
my turn.
Imagine
Just hit
a mostly cavalry army, with Azog, and like, I don't know, who's a good hero that's lots of points? Gandalf. Sitting in the middle, and you're just like, I'm going to use the surprise attack now, a free heroic. Oh, Gandalf's going to call a heroic move. You can't. That's dumb.
And you just leave Thrain the Broken at the back of the table. What courage is he?
Thrain the Broken.
He'd have to be like 3 or 4. You think you just leave him at the back of the table for your objective and just keep running?
Thrain is an interesting thing. There we go.
Courage 4.
So he's courage 4. He has 0 might, 0 will, 0 fate.
He's a warrior that is fight 4 and then...
Strength 2, 1 attack, 2 wounds. But the problem is he's like
Golem.
somebody with the ring.
Oh, yep.
So before priority, he's got to take a courage check. If he passes, he acts normally. If it says pass, he acts normally. If it's passed on a double, he gets +2 fight, +2 strength, +2 attacks, and +2 courage.
She becomes fight 6.
With 3 attacks.
Fight 6, strength 4,
4.
that's alright.
For 10 points. But then if he fails
They get to win,
his
isn't
courage test, he can never automatically pass it. Yeah, if it's failed, the opposing player controls Thrain. So for 10 points, I mean, it's not amazing. There's a reason why they stopped selling him, and Dion couldn't buy one. But yeah, super cool army. I think you'll actually see that one get played a lot. Azog's dumb as hell.
And he's only 215 points in this one because you can't take the extras.
Yeah.
So you just take 35 points of whatever else you want to take.
8-point orcs or 16-point Warg Riders.
So you take the Hunter Orcs at the front because they get 2 attacks, and then you give them a spear from behind with fight 4.
Yeah,
Because they're
with
fight 4,
Windbags.
aren't they? Yeah, so you win the fight.
Yeah.
Cool, I win the fight.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you fight 4 dude that you don't want to die,
They
just
might
spears
not
him from the top.
I think they're only fight 3, but they're strength 4.
Maybe that is. They're like Marana Orcs. They're good and bad Marana
Fight 3,
Orcs.
strength
Cool.
4.
But you want your strength 4 killing at the back without dying.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's the army itself is not amazing.
And good and bad captains. The Keeper of the Dungeon, he's got a few special rules because he's like a little mini bulk.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that one will get played a little bit. Rise of the Necromancer. If you go back, if I can remember when I'm editing this, there's Nathan and I played a game where he used essentially this army, and I used goblins and a Watcher in the Water.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
That was a funny one.
Essentially, it's an all-hero army, but evil version. You have to take the Necromancer, obviously. If the Necromancer casts a spell, if he spends a will point, he gets a bonus will point to cast that spell.
Just to have however many you want to spend to, they'll just add one. So if you want to take 1, you get 1 for free. If you want to do 2, you get 1 for free. Isn't that right? You just automatically get 1 extra.
Yeah.
So whatever you roll, you're like, oh, I'm going to roll 1, but you can't just get the free one. You have
You have to
select
spend
to use 1 to get the extra 1.
In this Legendary Legion, he gets 2 attacks instead of 1. That's amazing.
Which you don't want him in combat anyway, but at least you get 2 attacks. What is he like, fight? He'd have to be fight 5.
No, dude. It's Sauron. He's fight 7.
But the Necromancer's like...
Yeah, Necromancer's in here.
Look good.
He's got 1 attack. He's fight 7.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
I've never played
He's
that
scary.
army. I painted it for some other stuff, but
The
I've
thing
never...
that sucks is he only has one attack. Fight 7,
Okay.
strength 6, defense 8, 1 attack, 1 wound, courage 6. 3 points of might. He uses will points as fate,
Yeah, I remember that.
and every turn he's in combat, he loses a will
Because
point.
Coach played that game and he had like 5 wounds left. He's like, cool, I can't be stuffed playing this game.
Yeah.
I just rolled 5 dice. Like, oh, you died. He's like, yeah, oh, I died.
So yeah, he loses a point of will every turn he's in combat, and yeah, see that's what he used to look like.
Yep. What do they have?
Yeah. Yeah, he used to. He loses a point of will every turn he's in combat, and he uses his will points as fate.
Yeah.
The
So he's like the Undying, pretty much.
The other special rule in this is he can cast 2 spells a turn. So this is a very tricky army. A lot of people will think this is amazing, but if the Necromancer is casting 2 spells a turn, he's losing 2 points of will a turn. He has 25 to start with. After like 3 or 4 turns, he's probably going to be in combat every turn. So then you're losing potentially 3 or 4 points of will a turn.
I think like you can't.
That's a scary.
You can't take. I don't think I'd take the Keeper of the Dungeons. I wouldn't take too many. I'd just be taking the Necromancer as like your big hero or troll stopper. A couple of these dudes, because once you have taken the Necromancer, they come back on a 2+ instead of a 3.
Nope.
No, not on this one.
That's their army bonus.
Is it?
Yeah.
So they still come back on a 3+.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's not so good then.
Yeah.
And then I'll just take a few Castellans with the Morgul Blade. You'd be like, alright, cool, you got 1 wound left. If you don't pass this fate, you're dead.
The drawback to the Castellans though is they also lose a point of will every time they're in combat.
They always do. Oh no, they did
Yeah.
it for their wounds as well, didn't
Yeah,
they?
they got fate, will as fate. So it's a very, very tricky army to play. Has the potential to be super ridiculously powerful.
It sort of made it worse.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Now looking at that.
It makes the Necromancer better, but it makes the army a lot more difficult to play.
It's good playing the other
That's
one
gonna be
because you've
tough.
got the Orcs to help you. Like I need like 4 max in the Necromancer, or just take like 5 and as many bloody Hunter Orcs as you can.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And then this is your. No, that's it.
No, that's it. That's all our Legendary Legions. In my opinion, some really fun ones. Like, there's a really fun one there. A really quite powerful one. One that's not so great. And I think one that's makes an interesting army kind of useful. There's a few paint guides in here. How to paint the Necromancer the same style as it is. Cool.
CGI. You have to actually use like your computer.
Nah, the reason I thought it was CGI is because they use an airbrush. So it makes it look like they've CGI'd it to make it glow. And how to paint these bad boys.
So we got a few of them.
Really cool. So, if you were going to a tournament,
Yep.
would you consider running any of those Legendary Legions?
If I was seriously going to play it, depends, like a serious tournament, I think the only one you'd have to play would be the Pits of Dol Guldur. Unless you're playing what?
Someone's gonna
600
have fun. The person playing the Pits of Dol Guldur, and someone's not gonna have fun.
Like the
Anyone else.
Rangers one's cool.
Yeah.
You lose your hatred rule straight away unless you're playing spiders. You want to play that army as being sitting back.
Yeah.
And playing that army sitting in the bush, because otherwise, as soon as you come out, you defense 3 anyway, so you're dead.
Quite good on a forest board, or where there's some trees.
1 out of 5 games, you're gonna have a good game out
Yeah.
with that sort of army.
But I mean, it does make Legolas, in my opinion, Legolas is the weakest character, like the weakest named character from the movies.
Which I don't know why he's not fight 7,
Yeah.
but anyway. not gonna go into that one.
Everyone loves him, but in my opinion, I probably wouldn't ever take Legolas because he's
You only
just...
take him on horse when you take a
Okay.
Mirkwood Rangers army. Or
Yeah.
Mirkwood with... I usually
Yeah,
take
Mirkwood
normal
army.
elves. They're better than the Rangers.
But realistically, he's the same almost... Well, is he the same points as Toriel?
Nuts, he's like 105 with an elven cloak.
Okay.
You can take Orchrist and a horse.
Yeah.
And then she can just take a bow,
Yeah.
so she's like 90.
Yeah. Toriel equals better, in my opinion.
Every time, because you just throw her into combat and she gets Knife Fighter and she's still fight 6.
Yeah. But yeah, Legolas getting Knife Fighter in that, I think, is really, really good.
Necromancer army, probably a bit of a...
Just tricky to play. It'll be fun. It'll be a real
And then
fun
White
game
Council
to
is
play.
more of like a playing with your mate at the store or something
Yeah.
like that. Like not taking that to a tournament, I think.
I'm going to try. I'm going to give it a crack. I think...
Like 4 models in 650
That's
is what we
hard.
usually play. That's hard.
The thing is, to break that army, you need to kill 3 models. And then once it's broken, it's also at 25%.
The only thing that beats that army is magic, so you use your will points, so then they can try and kill you, so you can't just control the table.
Yeah. It'll be an interesting army. You kind of get screwed over anytime there's more than like one objective, because your army has to move in a blob.
To survive, really.
Yeah,
That's
for sure. Because they will get their bonuses.
Every time you get bored and split up, you die.
That's it.
It's like every zombie movie. As soon as you split up, you're dead.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our kind of like overview of the Fall of the Necromancer. I'm a big fan.
I didn't mind. I like new expansions to Lord of the Rings MSBG.
It gives us some new scenarios to play.
Gives me some new models to buy.
Absolutely.
Some new dice, all sorts of stuff.
Some new stuff coming back in stock. We got a few packs of dice and a big old bunch of terrain. So thank you for watching. Let us know what you think of the Legendary Legions
and the camera views.
And the camera views.
Because it doesn't matter which way we do it, we can still get.
We haven't really done one of these like sit and talk videos.
No, it's been a very long time.
Ages. When was the last time? What book? Or was it a book? No, it was when we were doing the D6 picks.
That's
Me, you,
right.
and Coach. So we haven't done one of these in quite a while.
Yes. Right, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to Rabble for the last whatever.
God knows how long.
Yeah. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, just the D6 Fix. Jump on our Discord. There's a lot of new channels. Dion's been there. Mr. Admin, adding a few.
If you're not observant, they're actually below the screen. The Facebook page and the Discord, the D6 Fix.
Makes it easier. Don't forget to to subscribe on our YouTube channel.
Yes, absolutely.
Hit the little bell. Obviously, you get a little ding.
We're super close. I never thought I'd ever say this. We're super close to 1,000 subscribers.
I think when I started, we were at like
800 and something.
Nah, it was less than that. It was like, I think it was like 530, and that's when Stevie was still editing.
Yeah.
That's when Stevie was still editing. I know we've had a few like little hiccups in between, but then yeah. So
definitely
really close. Like I didn't think we'd ever get to 1,000. I thought we'd get to like 600, and then it would just max out, and then that was it.
I said to Stevie back in the day, I was like, no more than 10 people are ever going to watch our videos. Yet here we are. So I was looking at the analytics and stuff. It's not something we super care about, but I was just curious. And like a lot of our views come from our subscribers, which is fantastic. Which means like the people who want to watch our videos.
Like a die-hard fan. Not if that's the word.
Yeah, like you're part of the D66 family, which I think is like amazing. And we've got all this amazing support. So
just don't forget to subscribe. So like, obviously, the more people we
we're
get,
like so close to 1,000.
We get, the more stuff we can get.
Yeah,
the more content we can give you. Help us help you. If that's the word you want to use.
We love doing this. It gets a little bit painful and expensive at times, but
very expensive.
But we do it because we love it. So yeah. Like and subscribe, etc., etc.
And then don't forget to follow us on Instagram. So I'm dirt_bristles, and then Dion is
at hardcore_hobby.
He didn't stuff it up again. That's two in a row.
2 in a row.
Going for a hat trick next time.
So yeah, I've been super not active on Instagram because I haven't actually done any hobby in ages. I've been doing.
I did a little bit of homework for this.
Oh yeah, you did.
But you can't see it until you get to see it.
Exactly, it's a surprise.
Should we? We're gonna tell them. You're going to do scenarios, or are you just going to...
We're going to do the scenarios. Everyone...
So we're doing the campaign. We're doing the cool thing. We just need to decide who's going...
Who's good, who's evil. You're going to be good, aren't you? You want to play good.
I want to be good, but I'm going to roll a dice.
Oh! Do we want one of these?
I have to do a ring, don't I?
It makes sense.
Alright. Your house, your roll, or home ground advantage?
Look. So what's the...
Whatever I roll, 1, 2, 3 is evil, 4, 5, 6 is good.